need some sort of data format in order to properly store disassemblies. Because the problem we have now is we have a gazillion of closed small tools. We have the big juggernaut IDA, but none of the tools want to talk to each other, and IDA doesn't want to talk to anybody else as well unless you write plugins. So it might be a good idea to have a generic storage that generically stores disassemblies, like a SQL schema in which you can just dump disassemblies and then operate on them. And yeah, so such a SQL schema would string many different or would allow stringing many different tools together to just operate on one big database, and it would also make managing many disassemblies in a larger team easier, because you wouldn't have like 20 IDBs on each hard disk, but one database server which you can then lose in a power out. All right, so we at Sabre have spent a few months actually drawing up such a schema, and we had originally intended to publish it here. But us being a small company and not very good at management and stuff at the moment, we are behind in documenting the schema. So we have it working, we're dumping into it, and it's very, very generic. I can't imagine, well, the one assumption that it makes is that you have a flat address space. But outside of that, I can't imagine many things that can go wrong with this schema at the moment. And we'll publish it in the next 2 or 3 months as soon as we have a good documentation for it. And we're porting all the tools that we're building to operate on the database format instead of only on IDA. And we're inviting all people to just port the tools to use the database format as soon as we publish it. And just hold on a bit while we give you some documentation, because without documentation, reverse engineering SQL schemas is not going to be fun. All right. Any questions? Yes? Yeah, the question. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The question was whether it makes sense to break the harder problems, like whether it would make sense to break those problems where we don't know about the exact difficulty, at least down into well, being able to classify which bits of the problem are easy and which ones are hard for which cases. Correct? And I think that makes total sense. Yes. Any other questions? Yes.
This one's an easy one. On number 8, your call graph ordering.
Yeah.
Do you think simple edge labels would be sufficient?
I don't know. Do you immediately, when you look at an edge label, grok it? I don't. So, I don't know. All right.
Chris?
Oh, Chris, yes.
Again, with your call graph ordering and stuff, one of the problems you run into there is you might call malloc string copy and stringland, but if those are in conditional blocks, you still have to order.
Well, you won't have a
Reachable
yeah.
within the initial function.
You won't have a proper ordering. You'll have a partial order on the set. All right. Any other questions? Then thank you, and I'll be open for more questions over beers later.